Hare Krishna. So we are discussing on the 23rd verse of the 4th chapter of Gita entitled Transcendental Knowledge. Yesterday we have seen how a devotee or a transcendentalist is happy with whatever comes on its own accord. Because one is happy, one has transcended dualities, and one is not envious, in due course of time, a transcendentalist even transcends the effects of the modes of material nature. About this condition, Krishna explains, Gata sangasya muktasya jnanavasthita chetasah yajnaya charatah karamam samagram praviliyate. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. Usually, for everyone in this material world, they are driven practically by the modes of material nature. We have seen this previously. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah. Ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Everybody is practically being driven to stimuluses. We see, we all have a way of eating and things that we like in eating. There we can see modes of material nature. We all have a way of speaking. When somebody speaks a little uncourteous language, the way we respond is also guna and karma. When I step inside a car, the way I drive, some people are perpetual 40-50 kilometers per hour drivers. Some people are perpetual 120-130 kilometers per hour drivers. You have seen this? So this is, here also you can see karmas coming out. So everything in our life, the responses to stimulus are being driven by guna and karma. And that is why Gata sangasya, the first verse, the first word of this verse, it refers to somebody who has given up envy, somebody who is happy. We have seen this yesterday. Somebody who has given up envy, somebody who has learned to tolerate dualities of life, somebody who is satisfied with whatever comes by its own accord. He usually is able to give up the modes of material nature. Yes. So when one actually gives up the modes of material nature, the impetus to work comes down. Yes. So Gata sangasya muktasya, at that time mukta means any activity that he does not generate a resultant karmic reaction. That is the time he is mukta. So mukta means, what are the steps? First, yadrichaya labha santushto. When is yadrichaya labha santushto possible? Only at the level of sattva guna is yadrichaya labha santushto. Dvandva atita, when one is happy, when he understands that his life is not only what it seems to be, it has a lot of previous baggage. और उस previous baggage के कारण इस जीवन में किसी को कुछ अच्छा ही मिली है, कुछ बुराई मिली है, तो ठीक है, हर किसी का अपना अपना नसीब है. तो दूसरों का जिसका नसीब हमसे अच्छा है, उनसे वो ईर्ष्या नहीं करता. ऐसे अनईर्ष्या पूर्वक जीवन जीने पर ही व्यक्ति प्रकृति के गुणों से ऊपर आ सकता है. Gata sangasya muktasya. This is possible only at the level of jnana. Yes. Only when one understands actuality. Yes. Unless one understands how this material nature is working, how things are going, one will never be able to control himself, his mind, his responses, his thoughts, nothing. That's why understanding material nature is of primary importance, and Bhagavad Gita is helping us doing so. So, the concept of bhakti is also called buddhi yoga. Why buddhi yoga? Because we have seen in the 3rd chapter of Gita the 3 places where lust sits. Yes, indriyani mano buddhir asya dhishthanam uchyate. Sensual activity, mental activity, and intellectual activity is where lust sits. And in these three, the subtlest is intelligence. So, Buddhi Yoga means when I engage my Buddhi in determining what is good for my bhakti and what is not, and accordingly I act. Buddhi Yoga does not mean simply intelligence. Buddhi Yoga means that intelligence which works on the principle of what is good for my spiritual upliftment, I will do it. What is not good for my spiritual upliftment, I will completely abstain from it. Incidentally, this happens to be the first two ingredients of the concept of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpah, pratikulyasya varjanam. Whatever is favorable for devotional service, I accept wholeheartedly, even though I might not like it. And whatever is not good for devotional service, I reject it, even though I might be hankering for it. That is where Gata Sangha, I am not driven by the Ichha that I have. I am driven by the service to Krishna. This can only happen Jnanavasthita Chetasah. Chitta. Cheta. Chitta. What is Chitta? We have Mana. Mana is like an unprogrammed processor. Yes. मन क्या है? एक प्रोसेसर जिसके अंदर अब तक प्रोग्रामिंग नहीं की गई है. जैसे ही वो प्रोग्राम की गई, वो प्रोसेसर क्या हो गया? फंक्शनैलिटी के लिए तैयार हो गया. वो फंक्शनैलिटी के लिए तैयार प्रोसेसर चित्त कहलाता है. सो चित्त क्या है? प्रोग्राम्ड माइंड इज कॉल्ड चित्त. अपने पिछले जन्मों के कर्मों के अनुसार हम एक चित्त लेकर के आए हैं, लेकिन भक्तिमय संस्कारों से हमारे पिछले प्रोग्रामिंग को डीप्रोग्राम करके एक नया प्रोग्रामिंग किया जा सकता है. भक्ति इतनी शक्तिशाली है. हम देखते हैं, फर्स्ट वी वर ऑल लिविंग इन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ व्हाट आई लाइक, जस्ट डू इट. यस, वी ऑल हैव लिव्ड दैट लाइफ. Now after some years in Krishna consciousness, we are thinking, I might be liking something. Is it good? No. Then I should not do it. I might not be liking something. Is it good? Yes, then you should definitely be doing it. So that chitta which was completely into sense, mind and intellectual enjoyment has now transcended, and it has come to the thought process of what is good in attaining Krishna's lotus feet. In that stage, one can actually do yajnaya acharatah. So when I transcend the level of body, mind and senses, that's where I come to the platform of what is good for Krishna's service. तब हर एक इंद्रिय से की गई कार्य, हर एक मन से किए गए कार्य और बुद्धि से किए गए कार्य, ये केवल भगवान की सेवा में संलग्न होंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हरे कृष्ण.
Krishna Krishna